Hello everyone. This lesson we're going to talk about some advantages of two different three-phase systems. First, for a Y system, we have two voltage available, like the one we had before. (120-volt, 280-volt, three-phase 4-wire system). We have two voltage. We can use 120 volts or we can use 208 volts. This Y system, because they have a neutral point, so by the electrical code, the neutral point have to be grounded. So we're creating a grounded system. In a grounded system, we have those kind of advantages. If a ground fault happens on any of the line, they will trip our circuit protection device, either a fuse or circuit breaker. So a ground fault is much easier to find in a Y system. A grounded system also, the voltage to ground will be the lowest voltage. In this system, 120 volt will be the voltage to ground. So the voltage to ground value is lower. It's safer for people to working on those kind of systems. If you get a shock or you get a zap by this 120 to 8 volt system, you will get a 120 volt instead of 208 volts. For this grounded Y system, the protection will be more efficient. If you have a ground fault or if you have an overcurrent, it's much easier to operate those ground protection devices. Also, because this system, the voltage to ground is lower, so the conductor insulation voltage requirement is also lower. So I can use conductor as long as those conductor can handle 120 volts, it will be good. And the stress put on the conductor will be also lower. Another much more complicated idea is in a Y system, the transient voltage. If something happens when you first turn the system on or when you turn the system off, they usually have a transient voltage. The transient voltage for the Y system will be lower compared to the delta system. Also, for delta system, we only will have one voltage available. If I have (240 volt delta system), 240 volt will be the only voltage available in this system. The delta system also have some advantage, otherwise nobody gonna use it. It's an ungrounded system. So, for ungrounded system, for the protection or for the point of safety valve, we need to provide some kind of ground fault detection. We're going to talk about slightly later. But the industrial, they like this delta ungrounded system because you have a big manufacturer, you have hundreds of people on the production line. If any of the line get grounded, if you're using a Y system, you're going to trip some circuit breaker or fuse. Then the whole production line is going to get shut down. But in a delta system, if we only have one line grounded, nothing going to happen to our system. Everything going to work in still normal. We need a ground fault detection to tell us that the one line get grounded. Because if there's another line grounded, we're going to get into big trouble. But in an ungrounded delta system, if you only have one wire grounded, the system can still keep going, everything working normal, so we don't need to stop the whole production line to let all those 100% go on vacation. There are some special three-phase 4-wire delta system. We pick one phase, we ground it. For that kind of system, in providing a ground system part, we can use for the receptacle or for the lights in the office area. So here, I'm going to show you something This is a three-phase, four-wire delta system. The code requires us, we can only ground between phase B and the phase C, so we're going to center tap that transformer to ground the center point of that system. In this way, we will have half of our phase voltage to use, let's say, 240 volt system, we can use 120 volt for the receptacle, for the light. But we also have three-phase 240 to supply motor load or any kind of three-phase load. The code requires the phase A have to be the high line. It have to be separate from this grounding point. Also, for the ungrounded system, we need creating somehow a ground fault detection system. We use 3 lamps connect on each of the line there. When we don't have the ground fault, each lamp only gonna say a lower voltage because the lamp is connected in Y. They're only gonna say a lower voltage on each lamp. So at the normal state, all 3 lamps gonna be on, but in the dimmer, kind of dimmer way. If we have any of the line grounded, so let's say phase line A get grounded, the ground connection connect to our ground fault detection system. So cross lamp A, the both sides gonna have the same potential. The lamp A gonna become totally dark. For the lamp B and the C, now those 2 lamps gonna say the line to line voltage down here. So lamp B and C gonna come to the full brightness. So when this kind of situation happens, we know which line have a ground fault problem. And we can also have other kind of indicating system like an alarm, a sound to indicating that a ground fault happened down there. So we can have the maintenance person to fix the problem. So this is the simple introduction way to your 3-phase system. If you have any question, you can connect us online or send us email. We try to answer it.